Hello, my super duper Sagittarius. How are you? This is your mid-month reading for January. Now, this year what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a general reading at the beginning of the month. And in the middle of the month, I'm going to do a shadow reading. For those of you who don't know, our shadow is the parts that we don't want to look at. It's the reason it's called our shadow is because it follows us around in the dark. We don't want to look at it, and we don't want to shine a light on it. Because if we did, it might be scary. We might have to face things we don't want to face. We might feel emotions that we don't want to feel. And a lot of the times we don't know how we're going to handle it. And so it's easier just to pretend it's not there. The thing is that if we don't look at it, we're just going to stay on the merry-go-round. Except it's not a merry-go-round. You just keep going around and around and around and around, getting nauseous and seeing the same old scenery all the time. And it's plastic. It's not real. Anyway, some people like that. Some people feel comfortable in that. But I'm guessing if you're watching this, you might know that there's things you need to work on. So, without judgment, let's look at our shadow sign. For January. What's our homework for January? Don't we all love homework? Isn't it wonderful? Let's call it, how can we grow in January? That's much nicer. Have I got all of this upside down? No. Okay. The Lovers. That's really interesting. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is our shadow work, and it's not about other people. It's about shining a light on our dark, scary things and offering it love and compassion, because at the moment it's bigger than we are, and we need to shine a light, give it love and compassion so that it will stop being so big and scary. I really like that. Okay, I'll lay these out and then we'll come back to it. Death. The Magician, nice. Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man, King of Cups, Strength, Six of Wands, I'm liking this, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, the Seeker, my favourite card, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, this is very Sag, very fire sign, but it's also a really positive reading for a shadow reading. But it will poke at our deepest insecurities, or things that sometimes even we don't realise are still there. Let's get into it. The foundation of the whole thing is the Hanged Man. Sagittarius is a very philosophical sign. It's known as the learner or the philosopher or the seeker of the truth, wisdom. It's curious. Sagittarius is a very curious sign. So it likes to see things from different perspectives. That's what it likes. However, sometimes it can get stuck in the seeking and the learning and not putting things into action. That's the foundation of the situation. Recently, you've got the King of Cups, and I noticed that you've got the King and the Queen of Cups. Now, in the past, you've got the King, and the Queen of Cups is the block to overcome. So, quite possibly, and if you look at the direction the King is moving, it's towards the past, walking away. Recently, you could have had a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, walk away from you. Take their bag and go. Because the current energy is death. Now, that's a Scorpio card. And the current energy is the end of something. Transformation. A forced transformation, a forced end. This could be someone you loved walking away. Well, being Sagittarius and very independent, you could have walked away. Either way, it brought the end. Now, your current energy is the Magician. There's a fair few majors in here. So this is a big month for you. Your current energy is the Magician. Positive. Sagittarians are optimistic. So you could be fairly optimistic about creating something new. You know, fresh starts, independence, big picture. You're probably very excited about that. The block to overcome is the Queen of Cups. Sometimes when we move on, we can reminisce, we can remember the good parts, and we can get caught, even Sagittarius can get caught in the wondering, am I good enough? What's wrong with me? Why don't people love me? What's so wrong with me that I'm unlovable? And quite often Sagittarius will spark up their independent joie de vivre in order to cover that up, in order to ignore it, in order to dry it up and move forward and just get over it and keep going, because the current situation is the Strength card, Leo, which is very fiery and very out there, very public attention and feedback. So this is probably how you're dealing with this recent separation. You've got your armor up, and it's holding you upright and it's keeping you strong. And you can't, with the helmet on, you can't see behind you. You've got to look focused, straight ahead. And this is bringing you into a public victory, okay? People around you might think that you've been hardly done by, that you were the victim. And it, with the Strength card, you could be carrying that along. Okay? I'm not to blame, however, I'm the good guy. So I'm the conquering hero coming back to help, not help others, but to show everybody what I'm made of. You know, that kind of thing. What you're not seeing is that this is work. This bullshit takes hard work to maintain, and the skeletons of pain and hurt and heartbreak stay in the closet. They don't get healed. They don't get put to rest. They just stay there, and you have to keep working really hard just to stop them from talking to you, really. And if you look at this, he's even painted them all pretty. You know, it's like painting over the ugly, painting over the bare, the raw, the real, so that you don't have to look at the actual basis. That's what you're not seeing. The opportunity here for you is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is my favourite ace because all the other aces, the Ace of Cups, heart, the Ace of Swords, head, the Ace of Wands, passion and action, can all stem from the foundation of the Pentacles, the groundedness, the security, the solidness of these Pentacles. Now, if you look at it, it's much bigger than you ever thought it could be. And you don't realise how big it is until you're standing with it. So the opportunity for you here is to receive this. Yes. Enough. So obedient. Just love the obedience. Now, thank you. The opportunity for you here is this is what you can receive if you stop hanging around learning and pontificating, if you face someone somewhere, I heard once, says that your soul is your own tune. You know that song, Sing Your Own Song? I can't remember it, but something like that. In order to do that, you've got to take enough time away from everybody else's tunes to hear your own. And for Sagittarius, who's always moving forward and always likes the future and the dream and the action and the drive, it's really hard to stop and stand still long enough to not only theorize about yourself, but to actually feel what you need to feel in order to heal it. And sometimes it's the feeling part. In fact, most of the time it's the feeling part that's hard to really move through. I'll give you an example. I'd done years and years of therapy for things in the past. And I'd worked through understanding and realising why, and I'd done all the reading, and I had a very good understanding, and I was sure I'd come to an acceptance and moved through it all. I was positive. I'd even done practice and, workshops and exercises and all of that. I went to a seminar, and the woman running it, Sharon Pearson, excellent in case you're interested, she pushed through all my tests, and I didn't realise how much I tested people to see if they were trustworthy. And apparently I did a really good job of testing, but she was the only person who pushed through my tests and just kept saying, no, I'm not taking that, I'm not taking that, I'm not taking that, it's bullshit, it's bullshit, it's bullshit. And eventually she cracked me, and I, in a room full of 85 people, cried for probably 2 hours while she worked through this stuff with me, because, and at one stage I said, I thought I'd worked through all this shit, and logically I had, but emotionally, not a chance. So I actually broke through, well, she helped me break through the guard I'd had up for so long, that for the first time since everything, whatever it was, many things had happened, I actually felt what it was, pain or anger or loss or abandonment or all of the above. I let myself feel that. And you know what? I didn't die. Had a headache for a couple of days. I didn't die of shame. I walked into the same room the next day and people weren't judging. They were compassionate and understanding. And that moment changed my life. Changed how I looked at things. It changed how I learnt. It changed how I dealt with things. It changed how I saw myself and how capable I thought I was. Changed everything. So, and then, because I'd gone through all that, I didn't live in my head, swords. I didn't live in having to take action all the time, so I didn't have time to think, wands. I didn't live in the emotions of how I felt at that time. I didn't stay there. I let them out, I sat with them, but I didn't live in that. I didn't become a victim of it. So I moved out of that cups. And what I did do was start a brand new foundation for myself. So facing that shadow was the hardest thing I've ever done, because it took someone else pushing me so far that the damn wall broke. The damn wall broke. And then I could actually heal. That's the hard part. You've got to be brave enough. It's not strength to show on the outside. It's strength to know that you will cope with whatever you face. You will get through it. You will cope. Your fear and hope in this is the seeker. Now, the fear is that you will your head would literally fall off. I thought if I let the emotions reach the top that I'd explode like a volcano, and I didn't know how to handle that, so I'd kept it pushed down. Well, turns out I didn't explode like a volcano. I just cried a lot. I let it out. I cut the head off the wound, so that all the festering stuff came out. That's your fear, is that you don't know how to handle it when you can't keep a lid on it anymore. You don't know how to move forward. The hope is that if you get rid of all of this crap that you've been carrying around for probably all your life, that you have the ability to move forward with intuition, with a deeper guidance, with a more profound knowledge than you've ever had before. You're more open to receiving this information. So it's a hope and a fear. Now, this cat, this intuition, is definitely pointing ahead. So part of you knows this. Part of you knows that it's time. It's time. And the outcome is, once you do it, you will move forward at a rapid rate of knots. You will get the information you need and the support you need to move forward in Sagittarius energy fast. You'll do it. You'll get what you need. You won't be stuck in it. You won't sit in this stuff. You will do what needs to be done. You will walk through what needs to be walked through, and then you can go, right, yes. It's like the ignition of the rocket. Poof, off I go. Which is, let's face it, what Sagittarius really likes. So, to end this, let's see what the guidance is. Can we have some guidance for Sag in January to help them move through this? You've got 3 8s here too, I've just noticed. Really nice. Okay. Good luck. You are ruled by Jupiter, the lucky planet. So if you do this, you will have luck. And you'll have luck doing it because, you might face some shit, but everything always seems to work out for Sag. It always seems to work out for Sag. And if you look, I love spirit. See the black cat? This is the black cat saying, if you follow my advice, you'll have good luck. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. Let's follow the black cat. All right, my loves, I hope this helps. And I love you lots, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.